Okay, so we have acknowledged that you have regained some form of independence and you've come to a self-acceptance of who you are and who you are to become. A lot of abundance in this reading. Very well deserved as well. I feel like that there's people that think that people just wake up and they're successful and they take all of the work away from it. It's bizarre. I don't know why people do that. You know, it would be like the 1% of the entire population of the world that wake up successful. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people put in a hell of a lot of graft. Okay, so let's carry on. Let's see. Do you know what? I'll keep this spirit led now. King of Wands. Woo. Okay. So we have got quite a bit of wands here. So we've got the King of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the King of Pentacles. So you've had the King and the Queen now. And the Five of Wands. And then the Knight of Wands at the bottom. And then following with the Sun. Happy times. Happy times ahead, I'm telling you. Okay, so firstly, these two. I think it's really hard to see yourself almost above what you think you are. Does that make sense? And I feel like that's what affects people's confidence. And I think that is what creates insecurities within people. Because people are too scared to be like, I'm really good at that. Or I'm really proud of myself. You know, it doesn't have to be egotistical. It really, really doesn't. You know, a spade's a spade at the end of the day. And I feel like people need to get more comfortable with talking positively about themselves, you know, rather than all the negative stuff. But I feel like this is what might have blocked you, which I can see is very much unblocking. But just remember that confidence comes from, I believe, the soul, you know, our highest self. And whether you like it or not, that confident side of you or confident version of you is already here. It's just on a bit of a different timeline, to be honest. Well, it was, but I feel like now you've kind of come past that. And I guess you are getting a bit comfortable with the positive self-talk and, you know, speaking up when you need to speak up. Because with the King of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, it's kind of like, I'm going to be honest, this could be an ex-partner, an ex-friend, family, it could be anybody. But if you've experienced somebody treating you really negatively, then that's going to sort of, it is going to cause damage, you know, especially when it's consistent and you trust that person and you think you feel safe with them. And then all of a sudden they start like shooting blanks at you. That, you know, it does a lot more than just fall off of the mouth. Do you know what I mean? But trust me, I've had friends that have just out of nowhere turned around and said, oh, you know, about my weight. That was a big one. I've just got rid of somebody for being like that, you know. And when people are doing that to you, it's because they don't want you to be confident. They don't want you to be successful, you know. And unfortunately, a lot of people can be like that. But I feel like you're more in that 5%, you know, that sort of the special energy, magical energy, you know. But with the Knight of Wands on the bottom, nothing's stopping you. And I feel like you are sticking up for yourself now. And you are telling them where to... Do you know what I mean? Ten of Wands. It does, it burdens you when you've got that going. Yeah, see? This energy you've got rid of, and there's a reason that you got rid of it, because they're not nice people, okay? And all they will do is burden you and burden you and burden you and trauma dump and burden you some more, and then start being nasty, okay? So please remember that these kinds of people are very manipulative. So they will try and come back in because they'll want to eat up your success, and they'll want to drain your energy. And take it from me, you never, ever, ever let them back in. Ever. I can see how much of a kind person you are, but don't let people take the mickey out of you. I see with the Seven of Wands, it's, you know, I feel like you've been through a lot, man, with people. That's why I prefer dogs, to be honest. Okay. Ace of Swords at the bottom. Okay, so with the Ace of Swords, you've gained a new mentality from all of this. Yeah? And you've actually come to the realization that there was never anything wrong with you, but everything was wrong with them. Yeah? And underneath is the Four of Wands. You've got so much coming in. And to be fair, I can imagine you're like, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, now, with the Ten of Wands, the Devil, and the Seven of Wands, I don't want to concentrate on that too much, because the past is the past. You can't change it. You can't go back to it. So you may as well just let it go, right? Because you're then with the Page of Cups. It will allow you to have your creativity. Because the thing is, when we've got the wrong people around us, everything dampens. Our intuition, our creativity, our passion, our integrity. You know, it all gets dampened because people will just sort of like grind you down and down and down until there's nothing left of you, you know? Whereas you now have gone, no, absolutely bloody not. Yeah? And now you've got a new creative endeavor. Could be like a project. The World and the Ten of Pentacles. See what I mean? You've completed cycles, you know, and to end at the Ten of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups again on the bottom. With the Ten of Swords, you know, you're being sort of paid back in a good karmic way, and rightfully bloody so. Honestly, I wouldn't look back. I really would not look back. At the end of the day, your success is from you sitting back on your own, working on your own stuff, and that will give you that freedom that you want to feel. But you have to set yourself free, as well as, you know, releasing other people. You have to accept yourself for everything that you are, and that is when all the sparks will start flying again, and that smile on your face will be genuine and not just a mask, you know. But one thing I do want to say is, from what I can see, there needs to be more people like you on this planet, because I think this planet would be a hell of a lot more of a peaceful place. And now you've felt the peace, you will never return to chaos. You just won't put up with it. You get to a point of maturity where you're like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want drama. I don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? I'll do some oracle now. Get to the next part.